phenomenal people on Rolling Out AM, the wake up call. So when you wake up this morning, we hope you're charged and supercharged. We got a great lineup of individuals who can share things about why and how you're actually seeing a big movement in art and justice. Of course, we also have our team, a wonderful team, and I'm going to pass it to a phenomenal young lady, Cass Sparks in the city. Hey, Cass, how are you this morning?
I'm good. How are you guys
We got
doing?
our lifestyle editor, Mr. Amir Shaw, author extraordinaire. And then,
Good day, good day.
good day, good day. Wake up, wake up, wake up call. Uh, there he is. He's a gardener in his spare time, and he clearly is a writer. It is a great, great, great day for King James, the first King James, that is, from Akron, Ohio, Terry Shropshire. Hey, Terry, how are you?
What's poppin'?
Well, I think Wake Up Call is popping right now, and I am here to say good morning to you all. Good morning to everybody. Good morning to everybody on Facebook. Good morning to everybody on our YouTube channel, and good morning to everybody who's checking in on Twitter. We want you to send your questions in. We've got our correspondent who will be monitoring the Facebook post and questions from our audience, Mr. Romeo International, all the way from Paris, Georgia. No, Atlanta, Georgia. That is. Good morning, Romeo. How are you, my man?
Good morning, man. Good morning, good people. Welcome to Rolling Out AM in the morning. Wake up.
Wake up. So we've got a lot going on, you guys. How do you feel? It's been a wild ride. We talked about depression last night on Health IQ. And it seemed to be one of the things that people talk about when at least a psychiatrist did when you're alone. So what are you doing to cope this morning when you're at home and stay sane?
Well, I definitely think I guys always say definitely get you some fresh air. Definitely get out there and exercise. That's important. I think exercise is definitely one of the greatest stress relievers that you can have, and it's easily to do. You can doesn't take much to exercise and get up and move. So for me, I think that's definitely important to definitely get some fresh air, get the body moving. This is we up early. I know Munson, you get those miles in early around the lake. So definitely want to kind of preach to everybody to make sure that you get out and move today.
Yeah, interesting thing, Amir. I do appreciate the movement, but I want to make sure that people also have indoor movements because we've got from my homies in the D in Detroit, we clearly have a push-up challenge. So every night we're all figuring out some push-ups, and now we got to the sit-ups. I mean, the sit-ups is tougher than the push-ups. So, there are some internal inside exercise. I don't want to encourage because I'm a little concerned about people that can't manage their distance during that. I want people to understand hurting the disease is not a fact. It literally, this is not that type of disease. It's not a chicken pox. So it's not that kind of scenario. And I think that we all want to encourage people. If you can do it safely, that's cool. But if not,
safely,
I promise you, them sit-ups, a few of them planks, Romeo, and I think clearly we've got to go back to our sister AJ. Are you doing yoga inside, Cass?
I have done yoga inside, but like Amir said, I like to get fresh air. I go on my back porch, and I do it out there just to kind of get some fresh air, a little sun. But definitely, there are some people in cities that don't have that option. So there's definitely classes online. There are people who are offering free classes. We spoke with a young lady, Carrie, who works for an organization. She owns a company that does free yoga classes. So there's definitely stuff online that you can do at home from the comfort of your living room. Also, meditation is really good. Just to step away and get a break. Just take the time to breathe.
Well, everybody said, I guess, King James, you over there exercising?
Oh yeah, for sure, to and from the grocery store. And but no, I mean I get out and get some air, get some vitamin D. Tyler Perry spoke about this the other day, that a lot of people who have been documented as dying, as he consulted with medical practitioners and connoisseurs, that the people who have died, many of them have died because they lacked vitamin D. So I get out and get some sun. I have consulted with my personal physician about getting re-upped on vitamin D pills. But yeah, so definitely get some sun and definitely keep your vitamin D levels up, and go out and just go walking, and then go on like a tour of gratitude. Just be thankful for what you have, and be thankful that someone is looking out for you and getting you through this.
Don't touch
Nice.
your face like
Definitely.
I just did. The frightening thing is, are we washing our hands? Are we still as vigilant? Are people still counting the 20 seconds when you come in and out of the house? Are you treating the virus before you, if you come from outside? Are you making sure that you're immediately going back in and taking a shower and cleaning up? The issue with vitamin D and Tyler Perry, let's really bring a physician on to talk about the need. I'm not sure that I'm taking a lot of cues from individuals that are repeating, because right here on Rolling Out AM, our health IQ, we bring real doctors. We bring not hearsay, but we also explain why, based on lack of sun, and why many need to go in. And if you have insurance, please, at some point, have some type of test as it relates to this health, just health. So let's get past this. Nobody wants to run to the doctor right about now. But we do want to make sure that your health IQ is going up. And they do sell at the store. You don't need a prescription for vitamin D. So you literally can actually go to the store and actually purchase it. So great
Yeah,
call.
you are correct. Yes, I have a special relationship with the VA, so they give it to me for free. But yes, you can go to the store and get vitamin D. Plus, I have my daily dosage of multivitamins and minerals. So yes, you are correct.
You thought I didn't know I was correct?
Yeah, how dare
I
I?
didn't know you had a special relationship with the VA. I'm so proud that you served our country. We did talk to the Dallas chief, thanks to Chief Renee Hall for coming on Health IQ. She is a phenomenal leader, and she definitely is out on the front line. And Terry, thank you for all of Dr. Hall out of Houston. She was a phenomenal guest, the anesthesiologist who was on the front line. And we want to say to all our frontline family members, we know that it is a sacrifice. And to those on the front line, it is a huge sacrifice and risk of life in a very harmful environment. So thank you. Great interview yesterday, Terry, with Dr. Hall and her, and obviously Dr. Owens, a psychiatrist, on Health IQ.
Yes, sir. Yeah,
Oh,
go ahead.
So, thank you, Terry. The Health IQ was good. I'm not sure if you watched it, Amir, but we want to make sure that we get a few more lifestyle hosts. So I think nutrition would be one. Romeo, I think the other thing is we probably want to have some young doctors on Health IQ to just talk about doctors who are just getting there and what they're seeing as they're going. And I think that that's really a great, be good for millennials, or at least, you know, doctors that are in their 20s and 30s to actually share what they're seeing, so we could have a special IQ. The other thing is we got a special guest in Dr. Williams and Dougie Fresh coming for the Health IQ next Tuesday. So that's the 12th. So really moving forward in our health. And I know we got some great business stories coming up for you guys. So just want everybody to know what's going on with Rolling Out AM. Cassidy, go ahead.
I'm sorry. The Health IQ last night I watched, and it was very informative. I wanted to know what was one of the main things that surprised you or you took away from the health IQ conversation?
You know, when you say surprised, I really was impressed with the honesty and the vulnerability that Dr. Hall shared. I mean, just the absence of touch was so moving, and I think all of us, but in particular her mother, she can't really touch her mother. She really can't hold her baby, and you're already 24 hours. That was touching. I was less surprised because I think that I'm really working to receive the information and create a dialogue, Romeo, of honesty, so that our community can stop the forgery and fake news that we all share, which I wish we'd stop sharing. But that was touching. And then once the chief delineated all of the protocols that they have created for those on the front line, and how, you know, she's really working to protect the public, and she has 3,000 plus employees. So that is a lot of management, and just to see Black excellence at that level is so key. And Cass, she's a female chief, and I think she represents just as so strong with her preparedness, with her understanding of the community, and obviously working with smart empathy. So that's what I experienced from it, because I'm always happy, obviously not surprised at the genius that I see in those intellectuals. And I get what you mean in terms of surprise. I was surprised that I was so moved and touched and she was so honest, man. It just broke my heart when she said that, like she's missing a hug. So that's a beautiful thing. Cassidy, how have you been managing that? What is your secret to being alone there, and anything special, games that you're learning? My wife took out her Wii, so she went back to the Wii room, yeah, and she was playing and I was not playing, but I was watching her play for an hour. So, you know, as we stay connected, it was an interesting moment, but she broke out the Wii again, so.
Those are good times. I haven't used a Wii in so long, but I used to
Break
love
out
the
the
tennis.
Wii!
The tennis used to be very fun. So,
It
yeah,
used to be, we used to give us a good workout too. Those
for
tennis
sure.
games and those boxing games. Yeah, that's
Mhm.
definitely a
Boxing
good way
too.
to stay in and get that blood flowing.
Well, I think
Definitely.
it's just one of those things. If you have it, instead of spending more money,
You
break
just pull
out
it out.
the things that you haven't had.
Hmm.
So there you go, Cass. You can make us a Wii video, please.
Yeah, I gotta go find my Wii.
Go
I
find
have to find it. I don't even know where it is.
Well, let's break her out.
I'm gonna look for it today, for sure.
I think this is that moment where you really have that insight. What about you, Romeo? We see you.
Hmm.
It's very interesting you brought up the Wii. So I'm a PlayStation guy, number one, but I've recently learned how to go live with people from other countries, and it's so interesting to see how people are connecting through gaming. Like you know, gaming is big already, but the fact that a 16-year-old from Argentina was beating me 2 days ago in 2K, I was pissed. I am not gonna lie, I was mad that this young guy was beating me like 42-12. So I've been actually enjoying my live PlayStation gaming just to keep my mind off of the day, to take a break. Because you and I are runners. And me and you will get out on the road and we'll go and we'll forget the world for that 30 minutes to an hour. But like you said, being more safe, trying to do those things in home is what matters. So more in-home things matter.
Yeah, I think it's a stay in place, particularly even we probably want to ask our friends to make more stay in-house and home activities kind of, I don't know that it's a challenge, but I think just messaging. Why don't we do that? Because it just appears as though people feel so pinned up that they're not being vigilant about how they move. And we all need to be vigilant. 8:15 in the morning, you're watching the Rolling Out AM call. Who wants to go up next? Because I'm sitting here waiting, Romeo. We've got something at 8:15. What is it? Cass in the city. Can you bring it to us?
Definitely. Good morning, everyone. Happy you could join us. Welcome to Rolling Out AM, the wake up call. First of all, I just want to talk a little about Vanessa Bryant. Obviously, someone who's very near and dear to our hearts right now. She just celebrated her 38th birthday yesterday. And she took to Instagram to kind of show something, a very heartfelt message. She actually found a letter from Kobe Bryant on Monday.
What's up?
It was just a letter that had been around. It was something that she didn't even know was around. She just found it. And 4 months later, after he tragically passed, he and his daughter Gianna, we all know they passed in a helicopter crash. So she found this note, and it said, it was addressed to the love of my life. And she said, yesterday I found an envelope labeled to the love of my life from To Poppy. I waited to open one more letter on my birthday. It gave me something to look forward to. So she turned 38, and we just want to wish her a very happy birthday and send her love and light to her and her whole family. Next up, we are going to talk about companies that are donating and continuing to help the cause that is coronavirus. And Nike is donating 30,000 pair of shoes to healthcare workers to help them during this time, as they're spending a lot of time on their feet, working long shifts in the hospital. So they're donating to some major cities in the US that are dealing with highly impacted, more highly impacted by the coronavirus, like Chicago, Los Angeles, New York, Memphis. They're also donating to the Veterans Health Administration. So shout out to Nike. They're also donating globally. They're donating compression socks, these shoes, as well as apparel for those healthcare workers. And they're the Air Zoom Plus, and they're made to sustain the healthcare workers while they're on their feet for these long hours. Next up in entertainment, we have Tracee Ellis Ross, one of my favorite actresses. I think she's so talented. She's hilarious. She and Ice Cube are starring in a new film that is coming out on May 29th. So that is coming to our homes. Obviously, we're not headed to theaters during this time, but I'm excited to see this movie. She's starring as a very famous singer. Obviously, we know Diana Ross is her mother, and she's incredibly famous. So I'm super excited to see this, her and Ice Cube, and how they will collaborate together. And it's basically just about her being a superstar, and it's about her personal assistant, and it's just about how they go back and forth in their careers, and something is going to come up to change their prospective careers. So I'm excited to see what Tracee Ellis Ross is going to bring to film with this one, because we all know her from Blackish. So that's all for now. We're gonna have some more coming up for you guys later.
Well, thanks. I appreciate that. Rolling Out AM in the morning, coming back to you. So, what do you think?
Yeah, I definitely. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Cass.
Go ahead, Amir. Go ahead.
Now, I definitely want to touch on. I guess I got a chance to see that Tracee Ellis Ross, Ice Cube. I got a chance to see the trailer yesterday. Yeah, it definitely looks like a really interesting film. It talks about, I guess, how singers, specifically female singers, once they get a certain age, I guess the music industry doesn't really, they kind of they try to get rid of them. So this is kind of one of those things as being in the middle of the road, trying to get that same feeling back when you were younger. So I'm definitely interested in seeing that film.
Yeah, I am also. I think it's going to be interesting, obviously, while we're at home, to see a film be released during this time, because we've never really experienced that before. We're so used to getting out, going to the box office. So I'm happy they're doing an at-home release for this.
Right. Also checking in from Rolling Out Facebook, Mrs. Steed has checked in, and she says on her Nintendo Wii, she loves the Michael Jackson experience. It gives great cardio and fun, and she also broke out the hula hoop and jump rope.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think I have to co-sign that one. You know what I'm saying? Because Michael Jackson, I chose Michael Jackson over Prince as a kid because I love the dance, and it's great to exercise too. So yeah, I'm definitely with that.
Well, I think the other thing that it kind of surprised, it brought back old feelings when we were actually using the Wii. The other thing is we didn't have to go spend any money to actually entertain ourselves. I had the wonderful pleasure of finding, and I'll look for it. But why don't we find that trailer, Amir? Why don't you send to Portia so that we can showcase the trailer so that Cassidy can have a match? That would be great. And I'm with you, Cass. I really enjoy the expansion of anytime I could see anything Ice Cube, given he is definitely one of the members of one of our favorite groups. Let me know what you think, because I think that's a moving thing in terms of his creativity. So it'd be great to see him. I am looking forward to a movie with he and his son. We've got a special guest, Romeo, that you have. So why don't you let everybody at Rolling Out AM Wake Up Call know?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Rolling Out AM Wake Up Call, where we talk to and we feature and we bring on the best in the industry. One of my closest friends, one of my partners, one of the hottest in the industry, DJ Silver Knight, is live on Rolling Out AM. Silver Knight. Is that it?
What's up, people?
There you go.
What's going on, man? How y'all doing this morning? Good morning.
Good morning, Silver Knight. What's poppin'?
Mr. Steve, how you been, my brother?
Come on, brother. You know, happy to be here. Grace of God is definitely upon me and all who can breathe about right now.
Yes.
Thanks for coming on this morning. We appreciate it. You see that lab?
Here we go. Let me cut that glare out. Yeah, man. Yeah, in the lab, man. I'm actually at the studio portion right here, man. You know, this is the set, the lab, the whole nine, man.
I got to get me a lab going. I promise you. I am gonna buy a mic.
Oh yeah.
I've committed to. I have a book. I've written 8 books, but I've got a book, a collection of love stories. So
okay, awesome.
And then obviously we've got an inspirational album coming out in June on.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I can help you put together something, man. Just let me know. I'll give you a whole list of what you need.
Come on, man. We'll connect. Romeo, send me his contact.
Yeah, you got it. You got my number. You had my number for 20 years, man.
20 years.
Yeah, you've known me my whole career.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it, man.
How's everybody doing this morning? How you doing, AR? Cass in the city, what's going on? Y'all all right? I can see y'all.
Everything's good, brother.
Good. How are you?
Awesome. I'm good. Romeo, what's up? Who? Everybody else? I see you.
So let's start off with this as we go into we've known each other for a long time. You've known the family for a long time. I want to start with what you've created in these times of people social distancing and staying at home. Tell the team about your late night pajama live DJ.
Yeah, man, I started this Zoom party. It's just like this. My first one was last Saturday, and I had like 120 something people in the room partying in their pajamas and other things. And yeah, man, I had to just continue to evolve this live situation, because right now, you know, all of my gigs are done. So literally every dollar I'm making right now is off IG Live, Facebook Live, and these Zoom parties. So, and these bills got to get paid, baby. So I had to think of something out the box to keep going, especially with so many restrictions with IG Live. They cut you off every hour. If you play, a song that gets maxed or something, they're going to cut you off or flag your account. Same thing with Facebook. So I just got tired of that. So I was like, man, there's got to be another way to, do something. So I was like, yo, let me try this Zoom thing, and, let me buy the account. I can get 500 up to 1,000 people in there, and, get the whole setup. So why not why not do it that way with no restrictions? I can literally stream 24 hours on Zoom the way I'm doing it. So I had to do something different because it was driving me crazy getting cut off like that.
Well, innovation is definitely part of what's a mandate right about now. If you're not being innovative, you will be broke.
Yes.
So I think that's it. Any original music you got there that we can hear?
Yeah, I got some queued up. I always got some queued up.
All right. Well, we want to hear. Rolling out in the AM and Silver Night, and we need that fire,
This is a little something I've been working on, man. It ain't, just a little lightweight. Here we go.
Bounce with it.
Hey, I almost started rapping. I'm born in freestyle. I'm just playing.
Early in the morning.
Waking up in the morning, rolling out loud, showing everybody gonna feel every day, showing my style, rolling out AM, wake up loud.
That's it. That's y'all new intro. That's your new intro for the show. Okay, that's the new intro right there.
Let me ask you a question.
What's up, man?
Let me ask you a question, man.
Yeah.
Being one of the top tier DJs,
Thank you,
the way that technology, how is the new wave of technology helped you?
To be able to do something like this, to be ready to do an online interview, an online show, to share my work and my production and my DJing. Like, we weren't able to do this when I started. This is 21 years this year. We had no Kia phones, man. We weren't able to do this. This would have never happened.
A video show.
What is that? We was it's crazy. Like every child now has a laptop, a computer. If we had a computer, it was like that old box that we had to share in the library. Like, like the technology is, kids are at school right now, at home. This technology has helped everything for me. I mean, I wouldn't be able to survive right now, or I'm sure there'll be another way, but without this technology, how would I be able to pay my bills right now from the house during a pandemic? As a DJ. Selling tapes, I guess, throwing tapes in the yard. Here you go, just throw the money in the yard or something. I don't know how will we be doing it, So technology is everything right now. It's everything.
I want to ask you this. I'm sorry. I want to ask you this. So we've seen, like, in I think it was in Denmark, where they're having these concerts where they're like drive-through concerts or drive-in concerts. Do you think that's going to be like the wave of the future, where you could do a DJ set and have people in their cars and you still play live for them?
Yeah, you know what? It's funny. We had this conversation with some friends of mine. I think going forward, this is definitely going to be a part of, even when the world opens fully back up. There are some people that don't like crowds anyway. They don't like to go out anyway. They would rather be home. So I think this is going to be a part that I'm going to keep forever going forward for those people. I'm not the biggest fan of clubs and smoke and, all $100 by the time you leave that joint. So I think it's going to be somewhat of a new normal. So I'm definitely going to keep this in my toolbox.
Now it was. I was talking to a friend, and she was looking for some production, and the next thing she knew, she had found a garage band for free.
Yep.
Music. So I think there are lots of gems. What kind of gems would you tell people if they were just going to do as an activity, search for some production and actually making beats and making some songs at home? What would you recommend to them?
Listen, GarageBand is a very powerful tool. There's a lot of popular songs. I have to look it up. I think Polo the Don made some stuff on GarageBand. GarageBand is very, very powerful. I use Ableton for production for a lot of things. So Ableton is my go-to. They might have a free trial or something, but GarageBand is for making beats and stuff. I've made some stuff on GarageBand before. It's a beast. That's an Apple product, man. It's robust. I'm telling you. You can do a lot of things on GarageBand.
And for many people, it comes on your phone, so you can save $2. You know.
It's free. It comes. You know, if you have any Apple products, I believe GarageBand it comes with it. You can download it. Yeah, it's free. Mm-hmm.
And it's also perfect for your iTunes and your podcast. I want to talk to you.
Yeah, without music. Question. Huh?
I want to talk to you about music. I want to talk to you about music real quick.
Okay, so talk to me.
I'm sitting in the party last night, right?
Okay.
Your party.
Okay.
And
Romeo, should I be checking this chat down here? Are y'all talking to me in this chat as well? Hold on.
We're talking to us, but you talk to us.
Okay, I was like, man, there's a lot of questions. Hold on, it's zooming by. Okay, I'm not gonna pay attention to this chat. I'm listening to you. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So I want you to define your style, because when I was listening to the DJ last night,
Mm-hmm.
you were able to please everybody. I think we went from crunk to
we were doing some bachata last night, some salsa. Yeah.
But what I've noticed as a DJ to DJ, you're able to accommodate like myself to the moment.
Right.
How do you define your style?
Open format. It's that right there. That was my whole thing starting out. Was I started playing in like the whitest of white bars down in Stockbridge and Riverdale when I first got going. So I just like music. I love music. So I can't really put a name on it, but open format. I could be in any club, international, reggae. One of the original clubs was a reggae club too. That's what made me start wanting to DJ, was falling into a reggae club. So I just love music, man. I have my different moods, and I think people are like that too. I mean, there's some people that just only like trap, and that's cool. There's nothing wrong with that, but I love it all, man. I think I DJ'd yesterday like something like 8 hours. I did like 4 hours on IG, and it came over to Facebook and did, another 3 or 4 hours. And most of that was all like Latin music and Caribbean music. I mean, I love music, man. And I don't even know what they were saying in the songs, but it's a feeling. I love it. So I would say an open format would be how you describe mine. You could put me in any situation, and that's what I would do. I love it.
How did you come up with Silver Night? Gotta ask that.
Okay, just man, you know what? It's simple, man. I love Silver since middle school. So that was a nickname because I was the only one. Think about it. I'm not gonna throw my age out there, but Silver wasn't always as popular as it is now. People wore gold. I was the only one in my middle school that wore silver. The only one. I had a big long herringbone. I still have somewhere back there that my brother gave me. A herringbone. So they were like, they go silver. They go silver again, wearing silver. And that's how that started. And then medieval stuff, I like, Knights of the Round Table type stuff. So kind of, I was rapping back in the day. Don't ask me to rap. Can't do it anymore. But Steve, Mr. Steve, you got that. But that's all you. But so when I was rapping, my rap name was Silver. It was Mr. Silver. Then it was Silver Knight. And when I started DJing, it was like, I need a DJ name. DJ Silver Knight. Keep it simple. And that's how I came up, it just was already nicknames.
Give us something else to kind of cue up to get that charge back up so that we can take it through the day.
Oh, you want another song? Another record? Let me see what's up here.
You inspire me.
You gotta let this one build up. Let this one build up right here. Freestyle? Hey, your freestyle. Your turn.
For you, my love. I ain't scared.
Hey, let this break down.
Needed that. That's just what the doctor ordered over here. Just what the doctor
Thank you
ordered.
so much. Thank you so much.
I wanna ask you about like as far as finding like because the thing about it being a great DJ, you have to go back into the crates. You have to have a good knowledge of music history.
Yeah.
So for you, like, how do you study music history to make sure that you can find like those hidden gems when it comes to like creating beats?
I'm surrounded by music 24 hours a day. So it's just, I mean, as a study, I'm just immersed in it. I'm always in it. So sometimes I do just sit and just go through my catalogs and my hard drives, and I got all my vinyl. Like, I don't know if you can see, but I did an all vinyl set. See all that vinyl back there? So it's just every day. I just live in it, man. I don't even have a living room anymore. This is a whole production studio. So it's not even it's a couch somewhere ducked off in there, but I'm just always in it, you know.
And you know what's so funny, man? People don't understand how long it takes to put together those crates and catalogs.
Yeah, it's years of preparation. You know, it's not like, like, oh, I'm gonna do this. And so, and it's weird because now, and for a very long time, I don't put together sets. So I don't know what I'm gonna play any given night, but I have like genres of music, that I can go through, but I don't have like exactly how it's going to be planned out. So every set is going to be different. So I might have played some of the same songs yesterday, right? I did 2 lives. Excuse me. So the first live, they might have the same songs, but played totally different. And then I started grabbing different songs. So, it's going to be a totally different thing, although it was in the same kind of feel.
Yeah, you're a real DJ. You're not laptop.
Thank you for noticing, brother.
I thank you so much, man, for checking in to the AM show this morning. Man.
No, thank you. Thank y'all.
No, we appreciate
you. We want that theme song. That first
listen. That first one is all you. It's all you. We can record it here.
Got to come up with something. Cass is in love with the new Beyonce and Megan Thee Stallion remix. That's her great song.
That's your theme song? Man.
It is not my theme song. I'm a big Beyonce fan.
I'm a savage.
Bougie.
That's not my theme song, but I'm a big Beyonce fan.
Do you dance when it plays? I don't have my DJ stuff. Some of the production stuff. Do you do the dance though when it plays? I
do not know the dance like that. Please don't bring it up. But I love Beyonce. She's a go-to of mine.
Man. She's amazing.
For sure.
You gotta love Beyonce.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Take y'all. I got one more song for you.
On the AM show.
Y'all ready for this one?
Yes.
Wake up, everybody!
Hey.
Okay.
AM!
Get your butt up! Rolling out AM show. Let's go! Drink your coffee. Just wiggling your seat. Just wiggle, 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 wiggle.
Wiggle, wiggle,
Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Wake up and just wiggle, 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 wiggle. Everybody just, hey.
Okay.
Come on. Romeo with the ring light. I see you, boy. Looking sharp.
AR can't move his arm.
AR, move your arms like this from side to side exists. Everybody, let's ride. Come on. The first King James. He get plants in the living room. It's real fresh in there. Cats in the city. Put your hands up in the air. Hey, Mr. Steve with you, the CEO of Rolling Out. I got you. Let's get it on the party. I chew Steve's. This is sick.
Hey.
That was dope.
I love y'all to life, man. Thank you.
All right, love you, man.
Great.
Appreciate you. We'll
All
check
right.
in with you later.
All right, man. Peace, y'all. Thank y'all
Thank
so
you
much.
so much.
Peace up. 8-Town down, baby.
Yeah.
You see it.
That's right.
One time DJ Silver
Yes.
man, in the AM show, man.
Y'all know I don't know how to leave. You got to kick me out. I don't know how to work this technology. How do you work this thing, Mr. Steed? Romeo, I don't know how to work this.
Our producers got
Kick me out this thing. I don't know. Are you going to see me walk around?
Oh man. Oh man.
Hey,
What's up?
8 a.m.
That was dope. We definitely
That
needed
was
that.
very good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get that theme song for you. I'm gonna get that theme song.
Now 8 a.m. We've got another guest. Let's bring him on. This is Rolling Out 8 a.m. the wake up call, and we are here. So wake up, everybody, and we want to say welcome to our guest. Introduction, please.
Yes, he's a rising comedian, and he is hilarious. His bits on Instagram have had me in tears, especially as it relates to what's going on in the world today. And his takes gives us a release from the stress that is going on in the world today. Welcome, Brandon Mitchell, aka Boogie B, man. What's up, man?
What's up? What's up? You know, comedian Boogie B in the house.
Yeah, what's up, man? What's up? What's up? You come to us from Los Angeles, so it's about what, 2 a.m?
It's early out here, baby. It's early. I'm up before the roosters.
I know that's right, man. So tell us about, man. No, go ahead.
I'm up before the Mexican chicken.
I know that's right, man. So you coming to us from Los Angeles, man, via your hometown of New Orleans, man. So talk to us about, man, some of the things that you've been doing, man, that have been cracking on Instagram in terms of your takes on how, and putting a funny spin and helping us to laugh, because laughter is medicine for the soul, especially in these times. How are you coming up with your bits?
Hey, well, what I do is something called Let Me Stress You Out roast. And these is like celebrity roast videos when celebrities do something that's just totally unacceptable for the normal person. And they think they can just get away with it because they have a lot of followers or because they're a celebrity. And I just don't agree. So I just, I don't roast people for just their outfits because that's too easy.
Right.
I roast them based on their behavior. So so my motto is do your best and you won't get stressed. If you run your mouth, come here, let me stress you out.
Right.
And that's how it goes. So if I know you celebrities, I'm sorry. I still roast you if I know you, but that's just how I put it down, man. And so I talk about the injustices that these celebrities commit.
What are some of the craziest things or some of the ridiculous things that you have seen out there in LA, Southern Cal, you know what I'm saying, that's going on right now during this pandemic that just makes you laugh or that you could turn into a bit?
Man, I done seen so much stuff. It's hard to turn stuff into a bit now because I don't roast regular people because they just regular people trying to figure out what's going on, but they are really protesting out here to try to get Trump to let California free, get us all punishment. So they trying to just protest and get out there in the street, and they just hugging each other on purpose. They trying to contract the coronavirus to send a message to Donald Trump. I don't understand this. Like, is you stupid? You want to get sick? What point is that gonna prove? You're gonna be in the hospital, and Trump ain't gonna give a damn that you in the hospital. So just stay inside, but they don't want to stay inside so bad. They want to make their money, but they just going about it the wrong way. And I would roast them, but they regular people who just don't know no better, I feel like.
So why are all the celebrities taking Zoom to the bathroom, Boogie? I mean, you got all these people taking Zoom into the bathroom. Like, who wants to Zoom in the bathroom? Was that on purpose?
They taking Zoom to the bathroom. I ain't heard this.
Man, yeah. I mean, it just seemed like Tiffany got caught. Then the Wayne got caught. I mean, taking Zoom to the bathroom.
Oh my God. I don't know. I guess when you gotta go, you gotta go. Gotta go. Robin Harris say, gotta go. Gotta go. If you can't hold it, I mean, hey, I guess you should
gotta keep the call, right? Keep the money going.
They bathrooms be so big or they be so nice, they think ain't nobody gonna know that they in the bathroom. But we can tell by the echo that you in the bathroom.
So
one of the funniest bits that I saw. Oh, go ahead.
1,000 people coming to the party in Chicago during the coronavirus when they are one of the hottest cities? What are those young people thinking?
In Chicago, you know, they don't give a damn about a life. They ready to die. They've been in the house all winter long for 7 months. Summertime comes, you not stopping them Negroes from going nowhere. You understand me? Them boys is going, and they going outside with the sole purpose of shooting anybody that say anything disrespectful about them being outside. So if you in Chicago, watch your mouth, because them boys will kill you if you tell them to go inside. They don't play. They murder rate. They is the 3-peat back-to-back murder capital champions in Chicago. They the Bulls of murder in Chicago. They the 94 Bulls of murder.
Now, one of the funniest bits that I saw with you, man, was when the suggestion of using a disinfectant to kill the virus. And man, I was in tears, dude.
Donald Trump tried to tell us to, he said, I don't know whoever didn't see it, but Donald Trump said that disinfectant kills the coronavirus. So if we can some kind of way get that inside of us, and I'm looking at the TV like, get it inside of us how? How do you suggest that we get a disinfectant inside of our human body? Do you want us to cut ourselves open and sprinkle it in? Or you want us to shoot it in? Or you want us to just pour it on our bodies and let it sink in? No way, you're a dumbass.
Well, talk to us, man, about how you made that transition, man, because right now, your hometown is one of the hardest hit cities in the country. So shout outs to New Orleans, man. I love New Orleans many times. Talk to us about your transition from going from New Orleans and taking your game to Los Angeles. That's a big move.
Well, you know, what happened with me is a little different because I evacuated from New Orleans for Hurricane Katrina. And once I was out. And so I just stayed gone and you know, and I just moved. But I moved from New Orleans to Houston, to Dallas, to Washington, D.C., and then to L.A. So I was shuffled around so much with Hurricane Katrina. Once I was out, I was really just out, so I could have just went anywhere. But New Orleans really just got hit hard with the coronavirus because we had Mardi Gras before the lockdown. It was Mardi Gras time, and you know Mardi Gras, it go ham. It's like maybe 200,000 extra people in the city, and you know everybody doing everything for Mardi Gras. We kissing in the mouth. On the first day we meet you on Mardi Gras, you get kissed in the mouth. So we were just passing the corona around and not even knowing it. This before it was on the news, because Mardi Gras was at the end of February, if y'all remember. Some of y'all don't know when Mardi Gras was, but it was at the end of February. We went on lockdown in the beginning of March.
I see.
And nobody knew though, so they just let us go ham, and that's why it's like that. But you know, it is what it is, man. New Orleans is still a beautiful city. We always bounce back.
But
so,
now you've gone even to a bigger city. But now you've gone into a bigger city, and it ain't just us acting crazy outside. We got the beaches lined up. Have you been to the beach?
No, I haven't been to the beach. I haven't been anywhere since the coronavirus started. I'm trying to stay safe, but you know, it's everybody in Los Angeles though. Los Angeles is one of them places where you got blacks, you got whites, you got Mexican, you got Persian, you got Armenian, you got, you know, Russian, you got people from all over the world that live in so many different spots, and there's so many different people. It's no way you can control all those people. Some of them people don't even speak no English. So they may be watching Donald Trump on the news, but they may not even understand nothing that he's saying. So they probably just going outside thinking it's a regular day. I saw a Mexican just selling fruit like it wasn't nothing on the side of the road. I'm like, you know, it's a coronavirus going around. You selling naked fruit out here. It wasn't no cover over the fruit. She dipping her hand in the thing and giving you the fruit. I was like, oh, this is disgusting. You just dipping your hand and handing it to people. People will eat the coronavirus for $3 from you. That's disgusting.
Hey, but now, I mean, you also have dipped your hand into music. I mean, I'm sorry, into music and movies. and you work with your boy Master P. You got some other projects in the line. Why don't you talk to us about that?
Yeah, man. Well, me and Master P, I'm not so much into music, but I be doing, sketches on different albums of rappers. Rappers like when I get on their albums and talk a little bit and say whatever about whatever topic they on. But Master P was the first person to put me in the comedy game. So back in 2006, I did a DVD for Master P called Hood Stars of Comedy. And I was brand new though. I was brand new at comedy. So when y'all go watch this video, just keep that in mind. It came out on like DVDs, Amazon.com and Walmart.com. So it was like on DVDs, and it had me, Michael Blackston, Cat Williams, Young Jack Thriller. It was a whole bunch of comedians on that DVD that was just beginning at that time. And it was funny. So me and Master P was very cool. I've been to his house out here in LA. He still show love to New Orleans. He bring a lot of different music artists, and he try to show a lot of love in New Orleans. But Master P tight though. He ain't trying to put you all the way on. He just wants to get you started. And then once you get started, he's like, all right, now go get it yourself. So he just one of them type of dudes who will motivate you, but he ain't gonna give you nothing. I don't care if you got 176 cars and you on the bus. He would give you a transfer, but he ain't gonna give you no car. He gonna be like, look, you gotta go get your own car. Now, that's what the type of dude he is. I love Master P though.
That's what's up. Romeo, did you have a question, sir?
Oh man, how is doing comedy now? With the social change and technology. How has the adjustment been for you?
I like your hat too, G. The Nintendo old school. I see what you're doing. Okay, yes, sir. But now I had a lot of reservations about doing comedy on the internet because stand-up is one of them things that you really have to touch the people. It's an energy thing. You know what I'm saying? And so without that energy, it's kind of difficult. So most stand-up comedians, we all are very skeptical. We don't really want to do it. And I'm not doing it on like Instagram. I'm talking about like on Zoom where we talking to y'all. Well, I'm talking to y'all. I've done 2 comedy shows like that. And I had like 176 people in the Zoom room. And it felt really good. It felt very similar to real stand-up because I could see everybody.
Okay.
I had it on a big plasma TV right here where I'm at. I had a plasma screen set up to the monitor so I could see everybody. I unmuted like 10 people at a time, and I could hear the laughs, and it felt real good, man. And so we, as comedians, we don't want to do it, but this, if you face it, this might just be what we into. Right. This might just be where we going from now on. Right. So it may never be more live stand-up venues with 2,000 and 1,500 no more, and it may never be physical stand-up comedy tours. We may just have to do it this way. So I wanted to do it and just get used to it. So I did one show called A Mean Quarantine, and then I did one called A Clean Quarantine, where I did all Christian comedy. I did it all for Jesus. So on the second one, I did an hour like that, and I did an hour the first time. And it felt good, man, honestly. It felt as good as it could possibly be,
That's what's up.
But I got some movies coming out too, man. I got a movie on Fandango and on Amazon Prime right now called Boosters. Not Boosters. Boosters the other movie. I got one called The Workout Room. The Workout Room is on Fandango. It's starring Joe Torre and Tammy Townsend, the mother from the Nickelodeon show. She's Tammy Townsend, if y'all don't know who she is. Pretty light-skinned lady, very, very, very distinguished actress. Lil JJ from Mississippi. There's a lot of celebrities in there. Bruh Man from Martin. Reginald Ballard is in that movie. And it's on Fandango right now. Y'all can go on Amazon Prime or Fandango and see The Workout Room. I'm in that. And I also have one coming out called Boosters. And I'm one of the leads on this one, but this one is an all-star cast of comedians. This is Melanie Camacho produced it, if y'all know who she is. But in the movie is some more, Cheryl Underwood, Sherry Shepherd, AJ Johnson, Paul from Martin, Earthquake. It's
yeah.
comedians in that movie. It's gonna be crazy. Like I don't know. The movie is like, you know, it's not a big budget movie, but it's one of them hood classics. You know what I mean? It's gonna be one of them old school 90s feel.
Yeah, I'm gonna get you sucker.
Going in. Everybody just doing what they do, and it's gonna be amazing, man. So it's not out yet, and we don't have a release date, but it's done. And they just finishing up the trailer on it. But y'all be looking forward to that movie called Boosters, man. And remember that I told you about it.
That's what's up, man. That is what's up.
Yes,
yeah, hey, check this out, man. Thank you very much for coming on, man, and visiting with Rolling Out AMTV. You know what I'm saying? Sharing laughter with us and letting us know what it is, how you are incorporating comedy, using it as medicine to help us to get through these hard times, man. Because we need to laugh. We need medicine. So thank you very much for bringing it. And keep those. Let me stress you out rather fast, man. That is.
Hey, come on, man. Let me meet the other people, man. You ain't tell me the other people's name on here. The host, James. I know you, James. You look kind of like a low fat Cedric the Entertainer.
I get it every day.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start calling myself Steady. I'm gonna start calling myself Steady.
If Sad was a deacon or a reverend, he would be you. He was a junior deacon. If Sad was a junior deacon in the church, that'd be you. What's my man's name with the Nintendo hat? What's up, brother?
What's going on, man? Romeo International, man. Rolling Out AM Music.
Oh, sorry about that. And we also got Cass in the city. Yeah, she's our entertainment reporter. And then, of course, we got our founder, Rolling Out Munson Steve.
What's up, Boogie? Very proud of you. Very proud of you.
What's up, brother? What's my man with the striped hat on? What's his name? Let me see. I'm trying to be familiar with everybody because you know.
What's up, Boogie? I'm Munson Steve. How are you, man?
How you doing, big brother?
Come on, bro. I'm really proud. I think what you illustrate is you got to move to the money, and I think many people don't understand. You got to move to the money. If you're not moving to the money, then you're missing your money. So we all got to take our talents to this platform. Is key. We appreciate always one love coming on Rolling Out AM, but definitely look forward to catching up once we don't have to wear a mask and hanging out with you in LA. So,
yes,
let us know what you do and maybe we'll figure out how to do a happy, funny show. So definitely figure it out, man, because we're very, very proud of you and what you're doing. So continue to stretch and let us know how we can always be there for you at Rolling Out AM, just Rolling Out, period.
Yes, sir. Hey, man, thank you so much, man. That was some good advice too, man. Make sure you tell all the entertainers, if you're not in a major city and you are on the internet or you just talented or you want to move to the next level, you have to either move to New York, Atlanta, or LA. Don't sit where you at and just be comfortable being a celebrity in Dallas or being a celebrity in Iowa or wherever you live at. You need to move to a major city or where it's one of the entertainment meccas. So if you want to go to the next level, you have to be where the next level artists are. And you have to be a small fish in a big pond. Because right now you live wherever you live and you probably a big fish to them. But in LA, we don't know you, or in Atlanta, they don't know you. And so it don't count until you get to where, you know what I mean? So you just told them the right thing. And that's one of the advice that I give to a lot of up and coming. I'm funny. What you think I should do? I think you should be where you need to be to get to the level where you're trying to get. Everybody ain't trying to blow up though. So if you ain't trying to blow up, you just comfortable being a neighborhood superstar, then be that. Everybody don't want no business. Some people want a 79 Cutlass, and that's just good enough for them. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
All day. Those are facts.
Everybody on here, man. Last thing I just want y'all to follow me on social media at Comedian Boogie B. It's Comedian BOOGIE and everything on everything. So if you don't have social media, type it in on YouTube and subscribe to my YouTube page, Comedian Boogie B. Everything that I do goes on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, MySpace, Black Planet, Christian Mingle. Wherever you at, I'm there with the jokes. So y'all just make sure y'all come through, man, and show love and support, man. Comedian Boogie B, man. I appreciate you, James, for having me and rolling out. I appreciate all y'all, brothers and sisters. Thank y'all so much.
Thank
All
you,
right.
Boogie B.
Stay blessed. Stay blessed.
Thank
Boogie
you.
B on Rolling Out AM. Peace. We love you, brother.
Love you too, man.
Deacon Terry.
I know, right? Not that every day, man. They tell me I'm steady every day, so I've gotten used to it, man.
That was great, man. Thank you for that.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. And so
I'm in tears, Cassie. Oh, the Justice Friends are here. They about to check in to Rolling Out AM in the morning.
Angelo.
On. I'm not sure why my video isn't working. I've been trying to figure that out. But
Yeah, click the video in the bottom left corner.
no, I did, but you see my screen for some reason, like now it shows my name, but when I click it, that's my video on, but it's just black. I don't know why.
Hey, man.
Yo,
What's up, man?
what's happening?
Come on, brother. You know what it is. Revolution, baby. Revolution. Outside.
How are we doing today?
On the wall. So,
Man, listen.
I'm going to let you have it. I'm going to show you my notebook. I'm going to show you my drawings. I'm
Oh,
gonna
yeah?
show you my whole family of artists. I be creeping on your page, man.
All right, let me get my sketchbook then. Hold on.
I be creeping on your page, man. I be
Right.
all the time figuring out what my family's doing there. You know, what kind of revolution we got going now. I'm really proud of that mural, brother. This is Muncie
Thank you.
Street, and obviously it's Rolling Out AM. I've got Romeo International. But if you think about a movement, if you think about those iconic image makers, when we think about our culture, I want to make sure that you understand that we not only have Angelo in silence, he's got himself in self-quarantine with his camera, but Fabian Williams has been a mover and shaker. I'm going to ask our producers to see if they can find that Cabernet article that we have from him on Rolling Out, because it was really a movement that both me and the whole team are so proud of you when you brought that movement. Why have you made it such a true honor and commitment to be the Martin Luther King of expression and influence and culture creators for outdoor, what I call the modern Afro-Cobra? For those who don't understand it, literally the Wall of Respect out of Chicago. Fabian, you brought walls of respect, brother, to our community when we couldn't give it to ourselves. Much love, brother.
Thank you. I mean, I ended up doing this type of work because when I had a day job, you know, when I was working in advertising, I just felt like eventually the stuff that I was doing ads for were things that I didn't believe in, and I felt like a hypocrite. So, you know, I was at the end of a contract, and I was ready to apply for another one, and my hands wouldn't let me type. It's like my body revolted. And then at that moment, I was like, well, let me try and be an artist. And I had no idea how to do that. I had always been painting throughout, you know, the whole time when I worked in advertising. But I really wasn't talking about the things that I cared about. So I had to handicap myself by saying, okay, I'm not going to post any words. I'm like, whatever I think or whatever I feel, I have to put it in the visual form. And that handicap made me figure out how to communicate. And after I started realizing that people were following my work online, then I was like, well, what's the best way for me to really confront people and I saw like there was a mural thing happening just really everywhere. But I looked at murals as like sort of like billboards for ideas, you know, similar to what I was doing in advertising. It's just I'm not selling a product. I'm more so challenging perspectives. And my biggest thing was we have so many problems and nobody's really trying to uh, approach them from an intellectual um, perch. And art is the best way to do that. You know, everything in this society is made up. It's all fabricated. So, you know, the way I see it is like we're at a crossroads. It's like we know the old way of doing things ain't working. So in order to change it, first you got to make people see that things are off. And then eventually you can start pitching ideas to you know, see to drive people to move in another direction. And
so for me, Angelo, how important is it for all of us, given what Fabian's doing, to really begin to be artistic about how we're getting our messaging out?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's tremendously important. One of my mentors, or somebody I've had the privilege over time to just get some wisdom from, is, you know, the great, we call him Mr. B, Mr. Harry Belafonte. And he always says or shares with us that artists are the gatekeepers of truth. So we recognize that we often say when the movement is strong, the artists are strong, or when the movement is strong, the movies are strong. So I think the degree to which the movement is connected close to our pain, the more transformation we have.
I think that the just even talking about Harry Belafonte, I think you're talking about share his insight on what you learned from him when he shares what our artists should be, our entertainers should be committed to.
Well, he always says that he was an activist, an organizer, a movement person first. And he realized his skill set around art was something he used to further the cause, right? So that's how Mr. B always looks at art and activism and connection. It wasn't, you know, he was an artist and then he said, you know, how do I use my art to pay attention to what's going on, to elevate the issues? He always understood what was going on in his community because he was from the community. And he said, how do I use my skill set to elevate and bring attention to what's taking place for me and my people? And I think some of it is how I think you even just teach art, or you teach how folks use their gift and skill. Because I think it's important to recognize that your gift and skill is not disconnected from what we see taking place every day.
Fabian, you've had quite a movement going on. It inspired many. I don't know if people are familiar. Producers, I don't know if we can share his Cabernet image yet, but just that movement alone in Atlanta, what drove you to that point?
Well, it really started from me just observing what was happening to him in the NFL 3 years before the Super Bowl. And I just felt like, you know, I mean, it was obvious that he was being railroaded when he didn't get picked up, because I was watching the game when they almost when they beat us in the playoffs. So I was like, I know he was like a top athlete, but like the fact that he's doing this protest and speaking up for us, and you know they railroaded him. I was like, well, his way of doing things and his protest would fit right in Atlanta. So I was like, why don't we bring him here? So the mural was initially like a campaign to bring Colin Kaepernick to Atlanta. You know, I figured like if the streets is asking for him, then you know it'll eventually lead to the boardroom. But it turned into something else. So 3 years later, when it got demolished, and it was obvious that it was like, you know, in connection to the Super Bowl being here, my homeboy Dr. Fahamu Peku was like, when the video went out, it went viral of the building being destroyed, And our best response was to create a, you know, more murals, almost like, you know, we don't die, we multiply. And the rapidness of the response really sent a message, and it also brought the people around the city out, because people felt the uneasiness of the NFL being here and what they did to Kaepernick and the legacy of Atlanta being a civil rights mecca. So people just jumped at the chance. It was really what everybody wanted to do, but didn't really express it until that moment. And you know, me and my partner Nash, we we just happened to hit the right chord at the right time. And you know, we all learned, you know, we learned that people still care about his protests. Atlanta is still a civil rights city, and the country still needs the voice, because I mean, it went around the world. So
Lorraine, what do you find as the justice voice when you actually identify with Fabian's work?
You said, what do I find?
Yeah, what inspires you, and what type of justice do you see in what he's doing?
Just, bringing light to the different social justice issues that are currently going on. I was trying to look to find some of his work to send right now, actually, to show you guys, because he's been doing a lot with the coronavirus pandemic and the socially distancing aspect of it. I think what I really appreciate more than anything is that he expresses the different current events that are transpiring in a way that reaches a demographic that may not always be into, like the news or the mainstream media, like touching the creatives who don't necessarily always take things in the same way that we do, so that he's able to be that voice for those people.
You know, the amazing thing is when you go to Philly, the artist there, and when you go to Chicago, obviously you had the Wall of Respect and the whole Afro Cobra movement. Wadsworth Gerald and that entire group is a great friend and obviously real movement maker. But they always say it's about the real estate. Because the real estate is the areas that we're there. We're going to actually capture and watch and look at a couple of images. And Fabian, you just express what you see and feel as we start looking at these images.
Okay. So this is an image that I created for the Big Facts, Small Acts campaign. So this is a campaign to increase the awareness of what's actually happening with COVID-19 and how it's affecting the African American and Latino community, because we are, and also Native American. Actually, Native Americans are being hit harder than anybody. But we're trying to increase the awareness of the importance of wearing a mask and not spreading the disease. Even though you may be asymptomatic, you can still carry it and spread it to others. And just over the weekend, we saw, because the state has reopened and more people are just feeling safe and walking around and like communing with other people, because we've been under lockdown. This is like jail to us in a sense. People are just like putting their guards down. It's like, nah, this is not over. It's like I feel like this is so many things that are happening right now attached to this virus, and because we have not been particularly disciplined, a lot of things are coming at us, and we're realizing the gaps in our culture. And having people stand in line for the new Jordans that came out, and people not wearing masks, not showing, not giving each other enough space, is something that's going to continue to spread this virus. Just like yesterday, a report came out saying that the virus has mutated and it spreads more aggressively. Like it's like we got to take this more serious because when it comes down to it, we represent most of the cases. 80%, 85% of the cases in DeKalb County are African American. I mean, it's like a whole bunch of bad news, really. Uh, yeah, 83% of the cases in March were African American. You know, I think they had 1,000 new cases, so like what, 800 of those now are uh, new cases, and it's just taking us out. And I just believe because of systemic racism, when these people hit the hospitals, we're not going to get the best care, and that's going to add to our problems, which is probably why we have so many deaths. So to prevent that, it's like put on a mask, man, and just back up off me. You know, we just got to figure out a new way to like connect without touching for a period of time. I'm not trying to accept this as a new normal, to be honest. I feel like if we like buckle down and do what we got to do, this doesn't have to continue. You know, all storms run out of rain. So, um, I, me and a few other Atlanta artists have worked on campaigns to like spread the awareness. And Sherry Day Scott actually was the one that started that campaign. Hashtag Big Facts Small Acts. Okay, so this picture right here is one I'm working on right now at Morehouse. It's called Black to the Future. So this is really the end, sort of like close to the end of the mural. It's over 100 feet long. It's super detailed, and I've been working on it for like a year, and I'm more than likely gonna be finished with it this month if the weather holds.
I don't see my picture, baby.
Uh,
I don't see my picture, man.
Did you go to Morehouse?
Yeah, graduated, not just went. Come on,
yo,
man.
I'm gonna put you in there. I'm gonna put you in there straight up. There's room at the end. I got you. Dang, I didn't know that, man.
Come on, rolling out right there. Of course.
Yeah, it makes sense. But yeah,
Oh
man.
yeah, class 88, man.
Give me a nice. I mean, you want like
whatever you give me, bro.
Big baller?
Bro. I just want to be part of the movement. What are you talking about, man?
No, I mean, I'm letting you choose what station in life you want to be represented. You know what I mean?
All right, cool. I got you. I appreciate it, man.
Give me something with some good lighting too, man. Don't have me painting no. I've received the most blurry pictures working on this thing. I've been getting on the ding like, yo, man, y'all got to give me better pictures than these, man. Like my eyes are straining, making my veins pop out.
Right. So, Lorraine, when we think of social justice, what are the next images that you imagine we really need when you think of issues that there aren't enough images of? Between you and Angelo, literally, we've got a whole range of images that we want to get our brother and other artists painting. What do you think right now? We got census, we got.
I know I would like to see just a lot more, probably the graphic images that deal with the police brutality and this whole sense of even, Black lives dying at the hands of, non-Black people who are taking, the law enforcement into their own hands, being able to actually depict those images in a very graphic way because we're seeing them, graphically on the web now.
And it just appears in New York, there's a difference in disparity from how one group with mask and no mask versus another group with mask. Can you share what's happening, Angelo, and maybe we can figure out, even Fabian, what that image is? What are we experiencing now in Corona disparity as it relates to policing?
Yeah, I mean, New York is out of control with respect to policing as usual. And we're seeing it in other places. New Jersey, there was a video that was released late last night. Folks will probably start to see it today in California. So around the country, we're seeing incidents where police are responding to Black and brown communities completely different than how we've seen them responded to the Jewish community in New York and also to the white community in some of the more affluent areas. And the interesting thing is that they're saying that, and the mayor has said that we have to enforce social distancing. So we've seen an uptick in violations and summonses and arrests. But when you look at how the police is interacting in some of the wider and more affluent areas in New York City, they're handing out masks, right? They're not arresting people or giving them summonses. They're actually creating space for them to make mistakes and responding in a way that allows folks to just live their lives how they've been doing it. So we're seeing a drastic disparity in enforcement, and we're also just seeing a drastic disparity in how folks are able to move throughout the city. So, I think communities around New York City are really starting to put their head together to say, we have to respond now to the way in which police are policing us as usual, before this epidemic creates another kind of epidemic within the community, right? And I think that's the danger. And the other piece that's important, I think, when we talk about this policing narrative, is most of the cases and incidents of brutality are happening with teenagers. So these are young people who traditionally would be in school now, but they're not, across New York City. And we have to find out a way to really begin to elevate the narrative of some of the youth and figure out, how do we protect our children in the midst of this moment where, there's going to be some big gaps in education, and now they're being over policed and brutalized, throughout the city and throughout the country. So a lot of issues to pay attention to. I think we have to begin to center and pay attention to the young people and figure out some strategies that get to them so that they can move differently in this moment.
When you think about that, Fabian, what comes to mind when you think about that protest? Because there seems to be a continued double standard. Obviously, Kaepernick is one of those double standards where we're punished because of our greatness. We're punished because of our acknowledgement of our community.
We can't hear you.
That's been something that's been going on since we've been in this country, and particularly right now, I feel like it happening all of a sudden again on video is a communication. The fact that we've seen this before. I've done a whole series on this already. I call it Cop Vision. I've shown the the translation that these police officers are seeing in their heads when they encounter police officers. You know what I'm saying? When they encounter black and Latino citizens. We've been over this. My bigger thing is the system that produces it. I feel like we need to focus on that, dismantling and replacing it with something else. And the latest one that happened in Georgia, it's just we've had another Trayvon Martin situation in Brunswick, Georgia. It's like a father and son confront this jogger, and they after unsuccessfully stopping him, they go and get their guns, block the road, and then they shoot this guy. And now there's video, but they weren't even arrested initially. So, to be honest, if we really being real, we don't have true citizenship. We have we're in a lower class because that's how they operate. So we have to be really radical in how we respond to it. I don't even like the word radical because to me it's what else? What options do we have? Because the logic that comes to me is well, the response to that has to be, well, somebody got to pay. You know what I mean? So
Angelo and Lorraine, where are we on the Brunswick case, and what is it that we think is igniting this continued attack, and what can we do?
The what can we do part is what I figure out.
There's options, but that's the thing. It's nobody wants to keep talk about it. We don't even feel safe talking about it.
Yeah, the other thing is the lack of unity, I would say in our community. So that, we just don't get together, the lack of leadership. I think that was something that Angela may have mentioned last week. So it's like there's no plan, there's no execution, there's nothing that brings us together that says, hey, this is how we're going to act in these types of situations until we get this type of a result. But
I mean, I think, I feel like we are unified to a degree. I think the challenge has been that we believe too much in the existing system. So we believe that the system would kind of protect us. So we thought the education system would work well for our children. We thought the healthcare system would protect us in the midst of a crisis or a pandemic. And what we kind of witness and we're witnessing now, like that last card falling where the systems that were supposed to protect us never do. So I think those of us who may have said, well, the system works sometimes, are realizing that's really not true. And at this point, we're saying, like, what do we do about that in this moment? And, you have a very similar situation as you did with Trayvon Martin. And it wasn't just, white vigilantes, but you also have them protected by law. And Florida was Stand Your Ground. And in Georgia, it's a vigilante. It's a citizen's arrest statute that allowed these men to essentially be defended by going out and doing what they did. So it's not just white kind of vigilantism, a white supremacy, which we see throughout the country, but it's been bolstered and protected by statute. And that's where we run into a tremendous amount of danger. And for Black folks, I think we have to really begin to say, what kind of system do we create within ourselves to protect ourselves from this kind of thing? Because the system certainly isn't going to do it. And what we've been doing and the way we've been responding hasn't been effective. And, the brother's death, the brother's murder in Georgia is just one of those glaring examples of what's really happening around the country, much more than we realize, but it's also been caught on camera. And I think the story will be elevated in the next coming weeks. I don't have faith that the justice system in Georgia is going to do anything about it. So, the people will have to respond and we'll have to figure out a new strategy for getting accountability when the system refuses to.
Listen, look, we've been going through this for long enough. I'm ready for new problems personally. I'm ready to solve this and move on to the next thing. What are we going to do about this energy? Have you noticed that the weather is great since humans are not involved? The Pentagon just said that there's UFOs for real. You know what I mean? We got other stuff to deal with, and we still dealing with class and racism and people jogging and white people being uncomfortable, jumping out and killing us. Like, come on, man. Like, this is during a pandemic. It's just like, how am I supposed to stay sane? I got to worry about random white people, murder hornets, and the coronavirus. You know what I'm saying? It's so much stuff that's going on right now. Like,
what?
I'm just saying, like, what am I supposed to focus as a creative? What am I supposed to focus on? You know what I'm saying? I personally, like, I want to talk about other things. I want to solve this problem and move on to other things. Like, we're in the middle of the future. We got AI over here. We got some mysterious people over here. We got crazy ass Trump, saying stupid shit daily, every single day. And we're just not focusing on things we should focus on. What are we going to do moving forward? Well, we've had a chance for the last few weeks to sit up in the house and think about things, Yeah,
but
now that
we say that, we say think about stuff. We are the last to really indict truth seekers. We are the last to indict what I call the social fantasy. We are almost the last to say, you know what? If you and your family are watching DJs for 4 to 5 hours at a time, you have pushed the dummy button. Like we are the last to indict it. We are so afraid to say to any person that has followers above 50,000 that you are wronging our people by having behavior that literally, or your silence is creepy. Why would you literally be creepy right now and silent Why would you have millions of dollars and not be buying communities? Why would you be representing the NFL and not have them endow all black colleges based on the NFL? I mean, come on. Why aren't we calling out the truth? Angelo, please sue somebody and let them know that a person that is not an attorney cannot negotiate freedom in a legal contract for us. Are we afraid to say it? Or
Yes,
does
we're afraid.
everybody want to have a kiss-ass cake? What are we
Yeah, man.
saying, everybody? Help me to understand it. Y'all gone to law school. Fabian, you can put it the invisible on the wall. But Jesus, what am I missing? The silence is creepy. It literally freaks me out.
Yo, man, I talk to people. Everybody I talk to is talking about the same thing. You know, there's like what's happening in the news, and then it's what people are talking about offline. You know, listen, they just said that UFOs exist. Come on, man. Like, we're not asking what type of energy do they use? Where do they come from? Do they use money? What's your society like? What's our issues? We need advice because we're not getting our shit is not together collectively. We talking about the wrong things. We have to start really looking at what type of world do we want to live in, because this one don't work.
Right.
It don't work.
Yeah, even to.
But every time, everybody I talk to offline is like, yeah, man, like this is crazy. You know, nobody's talking about this. But every day we get up, we get COVID-19, and now we back to Trayvon Martin. And then murder hornets. First of all, why are you calling things murder hornets, man? Murder hornets? Like that headline alone, to me, is like, you know, the news media twerking. You know what I'm saying? Sensationalism at its worst. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need big philosophical conversations. We need it everywhere. I don't know.
You can have big philosophical conversations.
We need it.
If everybody is going live. If everybody's going live playing music, if everybody is in a social fantasy that 36 million people are not unemployed. I mean, come on. You're talking about social fantasy.
Forest fires start very small.
Plugging in.
I'm starting a podcast myself called Science and Shit because I'm tired. I'm just like, I want to have some real conversations. Everybody I know is talking about this like on the low, but nobody wants to talk about it in the open. But it's like, we have major problems solved. We have major philosophical issues right now with our society. You know, capitalism is not doing its job. Hasn't been for a long time. Look at the inequities. All of this stuff is spawned from inequities. Look at how they're handling the money with the bailout. All that money went to the same people at the very top. I have a small business. I ain't get jack shit.
Well, the thing is, history is just repeating itself.
Exactly.
And that happens because, you know, folks haven't learned from it and moved differently. I think even when you look at some of the science fiction authors, like I love Octavia Butler, and she literally has books that predict this moment.
Yes.
I mean, everything about it. So we have had creatives throughout the course of time who said we are walking closer to a particular kind of moment where the systems and structures fail, where white supremacy comes on the rise again, and where pandemics are running rampant. So folks have talked about this, and we're just kind of seeing them come to fruition. The question is, what's our response? You know,
well, let me ask you this. Do you think sometimes that like our way of fantasizing or envisioning the future creatively, are we being led or are we creating that future? You know what I mean? This is my thing.
I mean, I think it depends on the artist, right? I think there are artists who are innovative, forward thinking, and free thinking. Like, even when I think about the children and the way that this moment isn't really disrupting the way they think and the way they learn and how they see and make culture. Even when you look at like TikTok, like it's exploding. And they're not allowing this moment to kind of stifle their growth in the way they see the world and knowing they have to adapt. But I think for other folks, the way in which the media kind of controls the way we think and what we see, it's able to then make us produce a particular kind of thinking, particular kind of art, and particular kind of responses. Like, you know, And it's kind of the way in which we've been indoctrinated into the society. So we're forced to respond. And I think there's pockets of the demographic, particularly younger people, who are like, we're not plugged into those things and we don't agree with them anyway. So they're kind of creating the more forward thinking and innovative ideas. Yeah,
I'm not so sure. I think I'm more on the idea of Fabian, because I think many of these things are like pacifiers for adults. When you think about how many people are becoming permanent children, like it's one thing to make one dance video. It's another thing that all of a sudden you spending an hour, 2 hours of your intellectual time trying to be a child. And I think it's intentional. And I think there's a social fantasy that rewards people with likes that aren't real, feelings. And I say it's not that it's an attack of DJs, but I'm not sure we're really taking the time to increase our knowledge base on nutrition. There's not a reset. So if you're watching somebody for 4 hours and you're not pushing a reset on your nutrition and the facts as it relates to your health, you're gonna miss the moment. You have no armor that you're putting on. The DJ's not suggesting that you put any armor on. The person that's TikToking is not suggesting. They're saying, watch me, watch me, watch me. While your eyes are not on the prize, somebody is stealing your oil. Because if you didn't watch during this pandemic, there will be blood. You will miss the entire message of what capitalism is about. There is somebody always trying to put their straw in your profit. And our minds and our spirits have too many straws in our intelligence factor so that we're being drained of the value and not encouraged to think in our own message, but follow.
Yeah, like I like to laugh and have a good time, and cut a fool and shit like that. But this is not like we've passed that period of all right, we've adjusted. What's really going on and what we gonna do? Like, what are we doing?
No, we're too fat, Fabian. We're too fat. We can't eat certain things. They make us fat. We will die.
Yeah. Like, I mean, like from our food, it's our culture. Like I've been saying this. I tell all my artists, friends, musicians, rappers, actors, whatever, art controls culture. Culture controls people. You know what I'm saying? If you're not in control of your art, then you're not in control of your culture. And the DJs have opportunities every day now to change the vibe. Music ain't nothing but vibration. You know what I'm saying? You can
a lot
slip
of
in.
money controls the art when you look at it, right? Like oftentimes, not all the times, but when you look at like the music that comes out, when you look at the movies that come out, those are corporate decisions, right? So in many ways, particularly when you're talking about mainstream art that we're seeing, it's controlled by the dollars. So it isn't necessarily always coming from a place that's transformative or that can be transformative. It's also coming from a place that pacifies and controls as well. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you, but like
unity
it's a choice.
An issue that one can't be measured. So Fabian, here's what I'm sharing with you, and for us to come back because we need to come back on this on another day. But at the end of the day, there aren't 10 goals from 2 for health, 2 for intelligence and education, 2 for economics that we literally can point to. And I think I challenged you with this last time, Angela, probably 10 or come up with 100. We got nothing on the board that as a people, knowing the health disparities, economic disparities, that we say, hey, all of our people, these are our exercise goals, our intellectual goals. There's nothing on the board. Not one person on their social media page has them written every day. So we're lost. And most people, one of our comments was the lack of unity. The lack of unity. You can't unify against an invisible problem. You can't unify against invisible goals. Angelo, Lorraine, we gotta have some goals for social justice that our people can go to a site. The same way we've gotta say to our DJs, gotta play a protest song. You've gotta play a song that challenges our community to get better and to heal. This is a reset, everybody. And if you're not resetting, you're gonna come out of this in a cloud of smoke that you will not recognize the world that we're in. The fact that we've been inside, we have no idea what's been in the planes. The fact that we've been inside, we have no idea of what's really coming in these factors. So, I think we've got to make sure that we begin to have social solutions for everybody that are concrete on our movement. Literally voting, obviously, is priority 1 for our community. Census, priority number 2. If you haven't done anything and you're at home, definitely put on the census and fill out your form, claim everybody in your house. If you haven't registered to vote, take this moment and be able to vote early and be prepared for November. Make a difference. And every DJ in the country needs to be saying at least those 2 things during and while they're going live.
True that.
I mean, some they said D Nice working with Michelle Obama were able to register close to 500,000 folks. So I mean, I think some of it is happening.
See, my thing, Angelo, I love D Nice. That's my man. That's one of the thousands of DJs that just picked up what he was doing.
It's true.
Yeah,
that's one of the thousands. I'm not even. D Nice was nice when I met him. He has been nice 20 years. He has always been a professional, kind, respectful brother, no matter where you met him. So the fact that he's doing his job, I don't see the same idea. That's one day out of the spin. He has Michelle Obama. I'm saying as a movement,
you're right.
We've got to challenge all of our people to have behavior that respects the objectives that we have, voting and census. The third is health. The fourth is economics. Your health is your wealth. You're not going to be able to work if you're sick, or you'll be paying all your money out for healthcare if you're sick.
And that goes for your mind too.
Right, that's part of your health.
And now, see, the last thing I'll say is, I often push back on the idea that we're not unified. Like when you look at this election that's coming up in November, they know the strongest voting bloc is Black folks. By and large, we vote together, right? And we're usually the deciding factor in these elections, right? So we are unified. I mean, look how many people watch D Nice's little thing. And I mean, Black folks come together and we come together often. The question is, or the issue is, what we're unifying around and how we're using and leveraging that power to get our needs met. Because it's not that we don't do it, it's that we're usually doing it during the course or for other folks' agenda. And as a result, we don't benefit from the ways in which we unify.
I did not choose Joe Biden. Me
neither. And that's
what I mean. We are not united. We're definitely not united because we don't all have the same access to facts. We're not all using critical thinking. You know what I mean? Like we're on so many different pages on so many different things that, you can't move a crowd forward that way. Like the crowd is dispersing really. Some of us over here in the parking lot of West End, you know what I'm saying? Blowing smoke and spinning out. Some of us are over here in the house trying to observe social distancing.
Fabian, the AI aspect of that. Okay, your cell phone's pinged. We know everybody that will show up for a disturbance now. We know everybody that will show up to be ignorant. We have the AI. We've recorded your conversations. We saw that you came out in an unsafe manner. We might send you another invitation individually or as a group to show up somewhere else. Right. Since you choose to behave this way, satellite pictures going up, please record the faces that are there so that we can understand those who really are choosing and would like to have the coronavirus.
That's already happening in China, but I'm glad you mentioned AI. AI is going to leave millions of people jobless. I would say billions. There's not going to be a job market once AI truly comes online because too many things can be done automatically. That's going to save a very small amount of companies a lot of money, but the job market is going to be decimated. We're actually looking at the future of that right now. You know what I'm saying? We're just not thinking.
Well, I want to thank all of you for coming on to Rolling Out AM. Fabian, it's always good. I'll reach out. Peace and love to everybody. Justice. Thank you, Angelo, LeRae. We've got to keep this moving. I need concrete solutions and concrete goals.
They're coming.
Our next guest coming up, and all of you. Peace.
Hey, Lorraine.
This is Rolling Out in the AM. I appreciate my legal minds. Let's continue this movement going forward. Everybody on the team is coming to the AM. Romeo International, Terry Shropshire, AM, rolling out. We got it. What's happening, fellas?
Hey, man, that was a great conversation, man. I saw it getting heated. That was a great conversation.
Well, we got to talk about what it is. I'm ready for Carl whenever he's ready.
I'm ready.
Hey, Carl, how are you, man?
I'm good.
Man, we respect for all that success that you having. I mean, y'all are moving the culture, man. Y'all have had a movement for a minute.
Yeah, you know, we always trying to come up with the next big thing down here.
Where that camera at, man? Where that
see the host. All right, you know, I'm new to it. All right.
Come on, man. What you talking about? You all creating all that culture. Welcome, Carl. Come on. Now, this is CEO to CEO. So what have you learned as a CEO in building a big brand like Megan Thee Stallion? And just for those who don't know, start with your name and your company for CEO so people understand your movement, brother.
My name is Carl Crawford. I'm from Houston, Texas. Played 15 years in the major leagues. And I retired, decided to come home and get into music because I love the music culture here in Houston. Started a label called 1501 Certified Entertainment. And, you know, we're responsible for big acts such as Megan Thee Stallion and a few more other little acts that we got coming along.
Yeah, but when you say it, little acts, you know, come on, man. You caused the whole movement. How did you decide on Megan's brand when you saw her? How did you pick her as talent? And then how did you create her brand architecture as a label?
Well, like I say, the power of the internet is so strong. You know, I saw her on the internet, you know, lyrically strong, you know, her confidence was great. And I just wanted her on a label. So we had a few outlines of certain things that we wanted as a label. And a girl, you know, we saw the wave coming. So we wanted to get the best girl on board, and we was fortunate enough to be able to sign Megan at the time.
Yeah, you didn't just pick a girl. You picked a girl that was interested in college. She so much when it comes to Black girl excellence, truly a voice. As a CEO, how do you find connecting to your young artists, and how do you keep them, making them understand the switch between just being musical artists, being entertainers, and ultimately being a professional?
Well, we just try to keep them, like we try to train everybody to stay focused, you know what I'm saying? Keep it on the prize. I try to be very professional in everything I do. You know, like I'm new to the business, so I try to have experts around that can coach them, you know, on everyday life or just the music life and staying focused and trying to do the best thing. We try to strive for greatness over here. So, you know, whenever we get artists or anybody that, you know, want to be in the music business, I put them on my experts and they school them, and, you know, we just try to keep moving forward.
Yeah, now really proud for what you're doing. AR?
What's going on, Carl, man? We really appreciate you and respect what you got going on down there in H-Town.
Right.
I want to talk about your relationship with Jay Prince, man. That's my boy, man, because, you know, I got a chance to chop it up with Jay a few years back, man. He always giving some nuggets of wisdom. Let's talk about your relationship with Jay Prince.
Well, Jay Prince, he's like he's our mentor, you know. He's like the Houston mentor, you know what I'm saying? Like a relationship with Jay is like more valuable than money because, you know, he's gonna help you mentor through the industry, give you advice, stuff that money can't, you know, a budget can't take you, you know what I'm saying? He just he be there for you to show you how to navigate and move and how to avoid certain things and just how to look a certain way, you know. So having access to Jay is just one of those unlimited type of things you can't even stress enough how important it is.
Has he given you like any nuggets? Like, do you have like any quotes or nuggets that he's giving you?
You mean like one of his fans?
Yeah, like cause he always got some sayings.
Yeah, he always got some little sayings, but I can't think of one off the top of my head right now. But it's his voice, the way he says it. You know what I'm saying? Kind of got that Martin Luther King feel to him, like hey Crawford, stuff like that. I know you heard him talk, but definitely he has that sound when he started talking. You just be quiet and listen. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Well, Carl.
Romeo International. Going from the playing field to the boardroom, what was your biggest adjustment as a CEO?
Really, it wasn't really too much of an adjustment. The only thing is, I'm working in the AC now instead of working out in the sun. You know what I'm saying? But if I can say anything that helped me is like, you in both of these arenas, you have to be disciplined. So I was able to transfer that over from sports, transfer that over into the music, stay disciplined, still work hard, and do, what I'm saying, the things that I need to do to make me successful. Like in sports, I was willing to do whatever it takes to be the best ball player I can be. And I just, switched that over to music and took that same approach.
Yeah, it's easy for you to say that, Carl. I know it's just coming off. Come on, man. How many people on the field? There ain't but so many. It ain't like they put on 20 on the field. It ain't like they don't go with stats. As a CEO, how do you goal set? Because some of our young people, they need to understand goal setting.
Goal set. Well, for me, goal setting, I always try to. I'm not one of those people who set the goal extremely, extremely high. I like to set my goals within reach. And once I reach those certain goals, I make another one. So that's how I am. I kind of put goals up to like levels. So once I get here, I'm like, okay, I'm ready to shoot there. Okay, we got here. Let's keep going. I like to chip off until I get to where I want to be.
Come on, man. Now we call it the CEO chip. You see what I mean? Come up with it already. Are you doing your CEO chip? Did you level set yourself up? There you go. Dropping the science. Boom. From Carl. Yeah. But that was a home run, man. I mean, come on. Megan, your home, Beyonce.
See what I tell people is like everybody focus on Megan because she the one that blew. I had like 10 other artists. So like I tell you, those steps, we went through those steps. We just got to them slowly, I had trial and error with other artists, and it didn't work. But Megan was the one that came through, and of course we from Houston, she's from Houston. The goal is always to get to Beyonce. You know what I'm saying? Like, so for me to come out of baseball, have no ties to the music industry, and get all the way up to Beyonce, like that's a huge accomplishment for me, Megan, and the city of Houston, because that's why I opened 1501. I started it for the city of Houston. It was to give back. I wanted to do my part after baseball. I know a lot of Black people don't play baseball, so I had to think about something else that they can do that I can, that I can help them with. Entertainment, music is a huge deal here. So I was like, let me shoot my shot at this and find the next big thing and put Houston back on the map, because we was kind of like in a slump, quote to say, at the time when I came home.
I want to talk about the how you guys have given back, because it's not just a song. You guys decided to give back from with this pandemic. Can you explain more about that?
Well, the thing is, it came to us like a couple of days before they put the song out. So it was a good idea for everybody to just, decide to give back, help with the release back home in Houston. We all wanted to do our part to, help out. And it was just a great idea, a good look for everybody. I feel like the city of Houston won again, and we just keep going with that good feel, about H-Town,
Well, I'm missing Frenchies and the Breakfast Club.
Oh, yeah. Frenchies and the Breakfast Club.
Yeah, all the people.
You got to come get you some Burns barbecue when you're down here, man. Okay, that's what you need, man.
I'm happy to come down. Obviously, check out you. We are very proud of you. Look forward to coming in. We've got a RIDE conference. So we hope we're going to do it virtually. So we want you to speak. But anytime we can do it, whether it's the young artists, I obviously got to do a Megan cover soon. But I really want to say that even the gems you dropped here will change lives of youth when they hear how you actually stepped and talked about the levels, and everything wasn't successful until you hit, but you stayed at it. So
That's
much
right.
love for you, CEO to CEO. Much
Thanks, man.
much love, and we know that those that are suffering there, obviously our brother Slim Thug, who was very honest and candid, and
Yeah.
obviously we're praying, obviously for Scarface, who literally has had to, transition and move forward in a different new way, and hopefully
Right.
young people are listening to what he's saying. So much love to you, and we appreciate you here on Rolling Out AM Wake Up Call.
Thanks for having me, man. All right,
Oh,
you guys. See y'all later, man.
1501.
Yeah,
Wake
right.
Up Call, our champion.
All right, buddy. See y'all later.
All right, brother. Peace.
Mm.
AR Shaw, what's happening?
Yes, what's up, man? Definitely, that was a good look. Carl is definitely doing a lot in the community and definitely bringing H-Town back when it comes to music. As we all know, H-Town is, when it comes to hip hop, they've always been ahead of everybody. He's definitely bringing it back with Megan Thee Stallion, and that track with Beyonce is just taking it to a whole nother level.
Yeah. Well, we got about 5 minutes, so let's either go to positive thoughts of the day, or Terry, I know you do your report in less than 30 seconds. We can skip the Gaga story for sure.
Well, it was not a Gaga story. It's all about Barack and Michelle Obama. Nobody cares about Lady Gaga in our community. But speaking of Michelle Obama, she was traumatized, she said, when there was extremely low voter turnout in 2016 and in the midterm elections when her husband was president, Barack Obama. In the documentary Netflix, Becoming, which the book has become one of the best-selling memoirs of all time, she said that it was a slap in the face of all the effort to get Barack Obama into the White House, only to turn around and have people sit at home on the sidelines during
all right.
elections. This is one of the first and only times that she has publicly articulating to politics. Moving on to the next subject, past Lady Gaga. 50 Cent basically said he used to love his son Marquise. He told XSL just a few minutes ago, or I should say just a few days ago, that he would rather have Tekashi 6ix9ine as his son, and that his Marquise, he could basically go kick rocks. He said he no longer loves his son, and that his basically being accustomed to being taken care of and not working for anything after giving everything in his youth basically contributed to the fact that there's no longer love between the father and son, and that is sad. And that next, the prosecutors in Brunswick, Georgia, are basically taking it to the grand jury to see if the white man and son who hunted down and killed an unarmed black jogger will be indicted. Now, this happened back in February. How these two men, white men, are free at this time and not in jail or indicted is beyond most people. But now that the video has been leaked, now all of them are going to go ahead and see about get the father and son indicted. Lastly, the baby, two things that we know about the baby. He's going to have big club banging hits, and he's going to get in a violent confrontation. He has an arrest warrant right now for allegedly punching a taxi driver along the Los Angeles Strip. He denies it on his Instagram page, but there is an arrest warrant for him. And that rounds out our entertainment report for now.
All right, 30 seconds. Positive thought of the day, Cassidy.
My positive thought of the day is, I gotta think of something. Obviously we want to think positive thoughts and just exude positivity, because we have to let go of all the negative that's going on right now. So I think something that's important to do is just speak to yourself in positive ways to uplift you during this time. Like, it's going to be okay. We're going to make it through, so that you won't be thinking about all the negative that's going on right now.
Romeo.
I need y'all to dance today. Take 1 minute, throw on your favorite song, just dance today. Let loose, let it go. That's my positive thought for today.
All right, King James.
Yeah, use your haters as your motivators. One of the things, no one rises to the top without haters. So basically, use those people who will hate on you, despising you, trying to block your path. Basically, use them as the motivation for you to get to the top. And when you experience the life of your dreams, as I have on a small scale, and then people see it, they can't believe it, and then they got to bow, which they have to me. So use your haters as your motivators, because they're going to assume sing your praises.
Amir Shah.
Yes, sir. So I'm gonna kind of go on the baseball reference since we had Carl here. So I'm gonna say keep going. If you strike out once, keep going. If you strike out twice, keep going, because you never know when you're gonna hit a home run. And that's exactly what Carl did. As he said earlier, he had a few artists that didn't pop, but Megan Thee Stallion was a home run. So that's kind of can be something that you can kind of pick up on. And if you miss the first time or the second time, just keep going, because you never know when it's gonna pop, and you make it big.
Yeah. So thanks to everybody. This is Rolling Out AM, the wake up call. Stay true to yourself in this moment. Stay true to the security of you and your home. And if nothing else, lift your hands up toward the sky and just know that you are a winner. So win, win, win. And we'll see you tomorrow on Rolling Out AM.